Let's go again. Bring it in. Bring it in. Come on, that's you. Let's go again. Let's go again, Yates. Scream it in. One more. Don't run the boxes. Go on. Come on, keep squeezing. Keep squeezing. There you are.
I used to train legs pretty much once a week, and for 4 or 5 days of every week, I had trouble sitting on the toilet. I had trouble moving around. I mean, if I didn't, I wouldn't be happy, man. I had to feel that fucking pain in the ass, pain in the leg, just to sit down. But hey, it's satisfying because you know you've fucking done some damage, right? If it's like that, and the damage repairs itself to get slightly bigger and stronger. If I'm training somebody in the gym now, I'm in the same zone. I'm with them. It's me and you in the gym. There's nothing here. There's me and you and the weights. Let's do it. And I create this bubble around me. And people can walk in the gym that know me and they can't even catch my eye. I don't even know they're there until afterwards they're like, hey, man. So I create a bubble. And there was not a lot of people in the gym when I was there. It was my own gym. So we used to go in the morning. I'd be just totally focused before I got there. Tunnel vision. I've already visualized what I'm going to do, which exercise, which order, which clothes I'm going to wear, and visualize myself on the bench lifting it. Look at my training journal. Last week I did X amount for 7 reps. So that's today's goal. Beat that. Get 8 reps. That's the goal. So I got a goal very firm in my mind when I'm going there, which is important. You go in the gym and have no goal and just wander around, you're not going to get very far. And then I got this energy that was almost like violence, you know? Probably I used a lot of anger that I had in me from my childhood and so on, I don't know, but instead of it going all over the fucking place, yeah, in people's faces and this and that and creating problems for me and everybody else, it was all internalized, and then it was into those sets, into those weights. So in between sets, you see me like, almost I'm like pacing up and down like an animal, like I'm, but it was controlled aggression. I didn't make a lot of noise, it was like inside like a fire, like, and I just put all that into the workout. So pretty calm by the time I got home. Like, you know, I didn't want to rip anyone's head off or anything. It was like all out in the gym. The body doesn't react unless it has a reason. It has to have a reason to adapt. So the workout needs to be more stressful than the previous one in order to get some stimulus. Bodybuilding is just an adaptation to stress. Yeah. You know, you put a certain stress, your body's going to adapt to it. Fuck, I need to get bigger and stronger so I can handle this stress next time. The real sets, I call them, we're going to go to absolute failure and even beyond with force reps, with assistance reps. So I'm going to do whatever it takes to get results. You have to do the hard work. It's no bullshit. It's about hard work, old-fashioned hard work. That's what it's about. If something's painful, you don't want to do it, right? But if you can overcome that, other obstacles in life are not going to be so difficult when you come to face them.
That was like the impression that I always got, like what you represented is the pinnacle of extreme dedication.
So when I got to the gym, I never talked to anybody. I never even look in the eyes of anybody. I look on the floor when I went in the gym. And I know what I'm going to do. From this exercise to this exercise to this exercise, and total concentration on what I'm doing. I'm only going to be there for 40-45 minutes. So I can give it my 100% concentration. Yeah, some people say they train for 2 hours. But they're in the gym for 2 hours, they're not training for 2 hours. They're messing about, they're talking on their phone, whatever, you know, it's not training. If you're training really hard, after 45 minutes you should really want to go home because you don't want to do it anymore. You know? People that come to train with me, we do 5 or 6 sets for legs, and I say to them, do you want to do more? And when they can breathe properly, no. Always, nobody never say to me, no, I want to do more. Because each set is given 100%. Any kind of sport is the same thing. What separates the guy that's first from second, from third, or whatever? What can separate the guy from first and second and third? It's all up there. That's the key. The anger thing was not something. It's something that I'm probably more conscious of now than I was then. I just called it focus and energy. But I was using probably some negative emotions, but not negative for me. They could have been, but I was getting them out. So now they're not negative anymore. They're becoming. It's like an alchemy. You're changing that negative things, the traumas, the things you're not happy with, which most of the time they're very deep anyway. They're deep, they're not on the surface that you can recognize them. They're deep down and you're like pulling it out. So yeah, before I drove to the gym, I used to sit down in a quiet space in my house and go through my journals, see what I've done, what's the goals, how important is this to you? You know, is it more important than the temporary discomfort or fear you might have of getting under this weight or whatever? Yes, absolutely. So I firm this in my mind, exactly what I'm going to do when I go to the gym. I get there, I'd see my training partner, be like, what's up? Let's go. Oh, how's with the wife? What happened last night? Did you see this on TV? None of that shit, yeah? After the workout, yeah. We used to do that bullshit, hang around with the guys. You know how it in the gym, it's a very male, macho environment, especially then. I mean, it was very, I don't know, there was just a couple of brave girls that used to come down the gym because they wanted to train properly. And they wouldn't have no fucking lycras on with their ass hanging out and everything like now, which is, that's nice to look at, but don't need the distraction. So there'd be a few girls there sometimes, but mainly it was just guys, and very, you know, it was a very macho place. People were scared to come down there because you gotta go down this narrow stairs, like going down, descending into hell or something, and you just hear these noises and the weights, and a lot of people wouldn't even go there. They're like, no, well, I can't go there, man. I mean, it was a bit of an illusion, because once you got there, it'd be all right, but it was a pretty scary place and not very friendly, because I didn't give a shit about the gym making money. Making money being Mr. Olympia, and this is my place where I train. If you want to come and train here and pay your fees, very welcome to, but don't expect a reception committee or nothing like that. You might get a grunt from the guy behind the counter, like, oh, you know, that's it, you know. And the gym had an amazing atmosphere because of all that, like, people used to walk down there and feel like, you know, fuck, let's train, man. I mean, there wasn't anything else to do there anyway. There was a table with a couple of chairs for after training, you wanted protein or something, and a little counter. The rest was just in a changing room with a shower that worked sometimes, and a toilet with no seat on, and we had actually mushrooms growing out of the wall and everything, but it was great. We loved it like that. We didn't want this nice place to go to. It's about work, it's about sweat. It's not nice, you know, it's not shiny, it's not cosmetic. It's work, man, you know, and I came from a working class background. I worked in a slaughterhouse, I worked on construction things. I mean, you get dirty, it's work, man. So we're used to that stuff. I've got every workout I ever did from 1983 until 1997. I've got every workout written down. I've got every exercise, every rep, every weight, everything written down. I've got a stack of books like that, all handwritten. I've got all my diets in there. Everything is logged down. And I was doing this, and I taught myself to do this. And every month I would write, this is my weight, this is my bicep measurement, this is my waist, this is it, this is my maximum bench press. And then I have all these next month. My goal is 10 pounds increase on the bench press. That doesn't sound much. Yeah, but if I did it every month, 12 months, it'd be 120 pounds, it'd be massive. So I always broke it down into little achievable goals like that, which I didn't always achieve, but I had the goal to aim for, and, you know, constantly going forward. So I kept records, and if I changed something in my diet, I changed something in my training, I would put it down, and I'd change one thing at a time. And let's see for a month what effect this has, positive or negative. And then whatever it was, if it was positive, I'd keep it. If it was negative, I wouldn't agonize about the whys. And even, you know, if I read somewhere Arnold Schwarzenegger said this exercise is the greatest thing, but I'm doing it's not working, I'll just simply eliminate it and move on. I wouldn't wonder why it's not, waste energy on that, you know. So very meticulous in my planning and very analytical about the whole process. That was my spin on it. Anyway, everyone has got their own approach. Somebody else, a professional bodybuilder, might say, you know, this is more of an art for me or whatever. But that was, for me, the biggest thing was it was a discipline. It was a personal challenge, you know, and if you can overcome, if something's painful, you don't want to do it, right? But if you can overcome that, and like, if your body's telling you to eat and you can discipline yourself to say, actually, no, I'm in control here, then other obstacles in life are not going to be so difficult when you come to face them. If you want to achieve everything, the same kind of approach could work. If you're in a business, you need some strategy, some plan, you know, with your business. It's the same, there's things that I learned, goal setting and so on, I learned from the sport. You can apply it to anything in life, really. The whole 12 years I was competing was living like a monk. It was very disciplined, almost to the extreme that wasn't necessary, but I didn't know how to do it any other way, you know? So I wouldn't go out, I wouldn't go to a movie if it meant I was going to get home after 11:30, because I need to get to bed at 12 and I need to eat at 11. And all these things, you know, everything had to work around. So it's almost like I was trying to create the perfect environment all the time for me to get the results from the training. And that's the thing with bodybuilding, it's not just the training when you go to the gym and then you can like, oh, let's forget about that when you go home. No, it's with you all the time, because you've got to, you've got to eat the right things at the right time, and you've got to eat very frequently, every 2.5 to 3 hours. You're going to have the required nutrition and so on. So it's like a real regime, and I kind of bent everything around that, everything had to fit in with that. I had a lot of books on training. I had my books on nutrition with, all the breakdowns of foods, protein, calorie intake and so on. So I was weighing my food and calculating the calories and the protein and the carb way before many people were going to that extent. People were just guesstimating or whatever, going by instinct. I didn't like to do that. I like to be very meticulous with the whole thing. Probably a pretty boring guy to be around. I used to sleep 8 hours and 9 hours a night. I used to insist on having a nap every day after training for an hour and a half. And, you got a family, everyone kind of has to fit in with that schedule. But I could justify it, I guess, because this was my profession. They say don't put all your eggs in one basket, but I only had one egg, one basket. So, I did put everything into it.